Alright everyone, and welcome back to another Fury Warrior commentary video for Antorus the Burning Throne. This time it is Mythic Kin'garoth. This is basically where I go over the fight from a progression standpoint, and I kind of tell you my reasons behind choosing my talents, legendaries, and trinkets. So, talent selection. The key to Kin'garoth is really killing the ads as fast as possible, which means making the most out of the extra damage taken as soon as they spawn. So for that reason, on the first row, I'm going to be taking Endless Rage as opposed to War Machine. Endless Rage helps you get more rage during your battle cry to allow more rampages within battle cry, and more damage, makes more use of your 4-piece if you got tier 21. War Machine you can proc for the ads, however you lose uptime on the buff transitioning from ad to ad, and like I say, the important really is the early burst. And then the following tiers I'm going to be taking Double Time, Avatar, Bounding Stride, Frothing Berserker, Bloodbath, and Reckless Abandon. So really just your standard kind of tier 21 single target build. Trinket selection here, I'm going to be going for Umbral Moonglaves, because I do not have the Pantheon Trinket yet, and Convergence of Fates. With Convergence of Fates, it allows you to get a battle cry or two in between each ad wave. And Umbral Moonglaves, although it isn't the best single target trinket, it actually works okay here because you can time it for when the ad is taking increased damage. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, I don't have the Pantheon Trinket yet, so I'm using Umbral. Now, legendary selection, I actually ended up on the kill using Valajar Berserkers and Soul of the Battle Lord. The Helm is a viable option here, and it's quite a good option if your raid is struggling to kill the ads. You can use the Helm and the legs in combination to get additional rage, to get extra rampages, and generally increase your burst whilst the ad is taking additional damage. However, for us, we were getting to the last phase and people were dying, so I felt like the ring was a safer bet for us. The ad was dying, so I didn't need the extra burst at the beginning. I felt like I needed the executes more towards the end. The disadvantage of using the ring is that the boss, you won't be able to execute from 20 to 0. You can probably execute a bit before the 4th wave of ad spawn, but then once they're dead, the boss is typically going to be sub 10% if you've got decent raid DPS. So you don't get a lot of percentage to do the executes, but I foresaw that a lot of our raid was going to die, so I used the ring. So, on pull, I'm going to be using an Old War as a pre-pot, and I'm going to be simply battle crying with Bloodbath and Odin's Fury in the kind of your opening burst. And the reason for that is because the first ad spawns quite quickly. So you want to be saving Avatar and Umbral Moonglaves or any other on-use trinket that you've got specifically for that ad when it's taking additional damage. You can use Battle Cry on pull because it will reset in time for the ad, and you get your full burst. And I'm also saving my troll racial as well. Apart from that, in this kind of like Kin'garoth phase, there's not a great deal to do. Apart from we're all stacked on star so that we all get the reverberating strikes in one place, obviously dodging the beam, which has gone off in a different direction. And then as soon as the boss is getting towards 100 energy, you want to be starting to move towards your platform. I think I was actually a little bit late on this one, which isn't great, but so I'm going to charge in, drop my glaives, rampage before my window of battle cry, rampage, Odin's Fury, etc, etc. I don't think Odin's Fury is quite back for that battle cry, but it doesn't matter. You can use it later on in the 7 seconds of burst, and it's just going to be a case of getting that ad dead as quickly as possible. And as I'm using the ring, I'll be able to get some Juggernaut stacks, and if we're lucky and the other group has killed the red ad enough, then I might be able to keep them going. So as soon as this is dead, I'm going to quickly charge out to get extra rage for executes. As soon as that's dead, I'm going to be leaping over to the next ad, charging in, and I've got Battle Cry ready, and Massacre proc, and Juggernaut, so I can just keep doing big executes on the boss. On the ad. And then moving back round to where we're stacked. Being careful not to go over the tank as you go around, otherwise you're probably going to get splattered. And now it's just a case of hitting the boss, avoiding the Ruiner, avoiding the reverberating strikes, and avoiding the bombs. Now with the bombs, you can pretty much just hug the inner circle of the boss, and you're largely going to be safe. Very rarely do they come on the very inner line. Now battle cries come off cooldown there, and I'm just going to use it without Avatar. Chances are if I use Avatar now without really insane Odin's Champion procs, I'm not going to get it back for the ad. So I'm just going to use Battle Cry and use the cooldowns I've got available. If the boss is around 70-ish energy, you know that you're pretty safe to use Battle Cry, and it will be back in time for your next ad. However, if it's 80-90 energy, then save Battle Cry because you're not going to get it back. And really, the ad is where you're going to get your biggest damage, and it's key to the fight. There's no point trying to whore your cooldowns on the boss when the key part of the fight is the ad. So ad's coming up. I've gone a little bit early, but that's to try and get best benefit of the extra damage. I'm going to use my second part there, Rampage, before my Battle Cry. You can pretty much always go there with a full bar of rage, which means you can get that, you know, that Rampage clipped into your Battle Cry before you do the rest of your sweet CDs. Again, getting my Juggernaut stacks and using my Massacre procs to keep in rage, doing 2 executes, 1 Massacre proc, and then you can leap across the gap. Unfortunately, this ad hasn't quite gone as fast, so he's not executable, but I'm going to go straight in and pop my cooldowns on it because I want the cooldowns back for, you know, the next kind of platform phase, if you like. And we managed to get some Battle Cry executes off there as well. I think I just got clipped by the beam there, which wasn't great, but it's not the end of the world. I didn't die. And now we're going to be stacking on red. You see that orb there spawned on the left of me? That one's quite close, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. If the tanks don't soak that one, I'm going to need to move out. But usually you can just hug the very inside of the boss and not have to move out at all. And again, you see that Battle Cries come off cooldown. The boss is at 60 energy. I'm going to be pretty safe to use it. And going to Rampage before Battle Cry, clip the last bit of Rampage in there, and use my cooldowns. I've also saved my Troll Racial because we Bloodlust the next ad. So stacking Troll Racial Bloodlust is going to be, you know, massive. Your rage just pings up and you get loads of Rampages off. So it's just a case of watching where the orbs are. That one's very close, and I do believe I have to move out for that one. So I've leapt out just to be safe because I'm not going to need it. And another one's come, and I very nearly blew up the raid there. But yeah, fortunately, I was aware enough to see it and move away from it. So cooldowns are back off now, 98%, perfect, ad's coming in. And I'm just going to run in with this because I know there's no other melee around me, so no one else is going to be running with me. Add there. Unfortunately, I haven't got a pre-rampage for my Battle Cry, but it's not the end of the world. I'm just going to not bother waiting for it and pop all my cooldowns. And like I said, all the haste stacks, it's just huge amounts of rampages, and I've shut up the meat there a little bit with that. Just dodging the stuff on the floor, pretty self-explanatory. You don't want to get hit. It won't kill you. One tick won't kill you. But if you take, 2 or 3, then it will. So again, this is where the ring's quite nice because you can keep Juggernaut stacks going from ad to ad sometimes. This one, I don't think I'm quite going to be as lucky, and my Battle Cry is not quite reset. But moving to the inside of the boss as soon as possible, as close to the boss as possible, because of the orbs going around the outside. And I've managed to get a couple of executes off on that ad with Battle Cry, which is quite nice. And now it's just going to be a case of doing as much damage to the boss as possible without getting hit by the Ruiner or getting hit by the orbs. And staying out of the reverberating strikes. Otherwise, you're going to get splattered if the tank gets reverberating strike. Now, with the red circles here, I've kind of been hit there, which isn't ideal. It would have been nice if the person next to me could have gone a bit further around. I'm avoiding coming off of the boss because you risk going into a purple orb. Because we're all stacked to one place, you can kind of fan around the boss, not risk hitting the orb, and keep DPSing. It's quite nice. One tick of getting hit by someone else's AoE circle isn't going to wipe you, but getting hit by a purple orb will almost certainly wipe you. So I've used Battle Cry as soon as it's available before I execute, because I want it reset for the ad. The ad is important here, yeah. There's no point, popping Avatar and Battle Cry and all the rest of it here to try and haul the execute damage. It's just stupid, in my opinion. But so ads are coming up. I'm getting near my mark again, so I get maximum uptime. And this is kind of tricky because ideally you want to save leap for coming out of that platform, but sometimes you have to use it to get in if there's not a lot of space. But the balls have been quite lucky there. Again, pre-rampage before Battle Cry rampage, Odin's Fury, Bloodthirst, rampage, getting maximum burst off on this ad. Avoiding the stuff on the ground and just trying to kill it as soon as possible. And now the extra hairy bit is coming up. We've just got to finish this ad before it releases. On the final one, you've got to be careful because typically you're not going to be blowing up the orbs. So you're going to have lots going around at fast times. If you don't have leap available there, you've got to wait, or you can charge the boss. Or if you've got leap to the center, because the center is going to be closest. And here I'm not going on the furthest ad yet because I don't feel it's safe. You know, there's lots of AoE going off. There's lots of orbs, reverberating strikes, and I wanted to wait for a safe time to go in. I've charged in and I have been hit, so you just have to be careful not to kill yourself there. But managed to kill the ad there. And again, I've managed to keep Juggernaut stacks going, which is really nice. Instead of doing nothing, I was executing the boss, and then when it was safe, I went to the ad, killed the ad, and then back to the boss. And it's dead. Yeah, I didn't finish off too badly there, 1.9. On our second kill, actually, I did use the helm, and the helm worked better, or it's because I got the Pantheon trinket on my next kill, which is a bit better than Moonglaves. But hopefully you picked up some stuff from there. Like I say, you can fit in a battle cry in between each ad, and it'll definitely be reset for the next ad. You want to save avatar, any on-use trinkets, that kind of stuff for the ad. You want to get to the ad, and ideally, because you're charging it as well, you should have a rampage ready for your pre-battle cry, so you can clip the last bit into the beginning of your battle cry. Save leap. You don't want to be using leap to get to the ad. You want to be charging the ad so that you can leap to get to the next one, leap and charge to the next one, keep the uptime going. And just generally good positioning. Try and be near your ad when it's your time to kill it. Try not to hit anyone with the AoE circles, and don't blow up any orbs. That's the most important thing here. That's it for this one, though. Hopefully you enjoyed it. The next one is going to be Valimathras, which probably isn't going to be the most entertaining commentary video because there's not really a lot which goes on there. But nevertheless, I will see you on the next one. And I got my Pantheon trinket, so I'll stop going on about Moonglaves and using them now. Cheers. See ya.